Hello everybody and welcome back to the video here on Cobblers Vlogs, where the Cobblers have just drawn 0-0 against Doncaster Rovers in what was a very dull, boring game. Poor teams, poor commentators, poor referee, everything about the game just was poor. So yeah, not really much to talk about, I don't think, in this review, because nothing really happened. The Cobblers maybe could have had a couple of penalties, which we're going to get into. But yeah, what are we waiting for? Let's get into this match review. Yeah, so like I said, the first half was probably the whole match was probably the dullest match I've probably watched in a very long time. There wasn't really many clear-cut chances. There were more half chances. I think the Cobblers could have had 3 penalties, and let me talk you through this one, because Doncaster fans on Twitter seem to think that absolutely none of them were. I think 2 of them you could argue a very strong case for. The first one is probably the one that you couldn't argue so much for. Is I think it was Kioso or Watson down the right. He had a Doncaster player about 3 yards away from him. Kioso put the cross in, and he just stuck out his arm. It was kind of I'm sat down, but it was kind of just out to his side. It wasn't in the most natural position. It obviously hit his arm, nothing given. I don't think the Cobblers appealed too strongly for that one. The second one, the ball fell to Ryan Watson, just inside the box actually, and there was 3 Doncaster defenders. Every single one of them was stood like that, look at me, I'm amazing, jazz hands sort of, hey. And they were sort of stood like that, arms outstretched. It deflected out for a corner, and none of them were in kind of in the way of Watson or the goal in terms of where their bodies were positioned, but all 3 of their arms were out, and it must have hit one of their arms to go out for a corner. But I guess the referee probably didn't have the best view of it. Maybe that's probably the only thing I can say. And the other one, the Cobblers had a corner. It went over everybody out to the far side towards Watson, who went and chased it, and couldn't quite get on the end of the corner. But he went and chased the ball, and then I think it was Okunabire just tripped him over, and it may have been a tangle of legs, but to me it looked like a clear trip, and that one should have been a penalty. So if the Cobblers would have had 2 penalties, they probably would have gone to win the game. But I think a good result against, again, if you say to me, Cobblers are going to draw today against a 5th place team, 0-0, you're going to get a point, and that's going to go towards safety. I think you'd be really happy with that. So happy with the point. I think it was kind of a carbon copy of the Charlton game on Saturday afternoon, on Tuesday, sorry. Apart from the fact that no terrible decisions were given, apart from the fact we weren't given penalties. So yeah, no kind of awful decisions that were given that influenced the score of the game, and I think it was a carbon copy. I think if those 2 penalties that I thought was Stonewall get given, Cobblers win the game 2-0, but they weren't, and that's what we've got to deal with. But I think a good point against a fairly decent Doncaster side who didn't really threaten too much. Again, Cobblers since Brady's come in, they've let teams dominate the ball against them. They've not been able to do anything with it. Portsmouth didn't, Plymouth didn't, Charlton didn't really do that much, and Doncaster didn't today. So yeah, a very, very average and kind of dull 90 minutes. Let's have a look at what you guys thought about the game on Twitter. Okay, so looking at your comments on Twitter then, Harry Whitworth is the first one that got involved, replying to our tweet. He said, very happy with the point and will take it and run to the hills with it. Defended brilliantly yet again. And I think that's a good point, leading on from what I just mentioned about Doncaster and Plymouth, Portsmouth and Charlton didn't really do too much with the ball and create too many chances, and I think that also is credit to the Cobblers and how well they defended. It's not that the other teams they were playing were poor. I think the Cobblers defended really well, really resolute, really strong, and that definitely showed it, and it's why they kept a clean sheet this afternoon. NTFC fan, who is Luke, says not the greatest watch, but it was well earned and deserved point. Thought we had chances to nick it, but overall a draw was a fair result. I think I agree with that. And then Northampton Town Turkey says that on the plus side the lads can recuperate for a week, which I think is a really good point. The Cobblers now have a week off. They don't play again until next Saturday when they play Crewe Alexandra at home. So that's also going to be another tough game against a team that are in the top half, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, they're Crewe obviously the best performing team in the division since we got promoted. If we scroll down just through the hashtag NTFC, have a look what people are saying. We've got Keith B, who says, we scored and should have had all 3 points, but like most of it, like most of what we do in the final third, it was scrappy and unconvincing. Subbing Edmondson for Rose was pointless. Should have put Jones on after the goal on Tuesday. Yeah, good point. I think there was that chance that I don't think the Cobblers, that from that corner, there was one where it looked like it maybe went over the line, but I don't think it quite did. Again, really difficult for the referee to tell without that goal line technology, and from the camera angle we were watching at, again, perspective is completely different. I think subbing Edmondson for Rose was pointless. I'm now starting to agree with people and seeing what Edmondson is bringing to the table. Really presses, really, harries opposition defenders, and Rose just didn't do that when he came on, so I agree with that. The 2 points I want to finish one, Isaac Bidwell says, take a point. Still don't think Doncaster were that great and we could have got more out of it. Absolutely agree, Isaac. Doncaster weren't particularly good. But then that also, like I said earlier, with Harry's point, really shows how good our defending was. And then the final point I want to have a look at is from James Hennigan from the Chronicle and Echo. He says, if that goes away, 7 points from 12 against Plymouth, Portsmouth, Charlton and Doncaster would have snapped your hand off for that. Now we're on a more favourable fixtures against mid-table and bottom half teams. Cobblers must take advantage. And that is absolutely right, James Hennigan, and a fantastic point to finish on. I think you know, you can get the points against your big teams, but you need to pick them up against the smaller teams and the teams around you if we want a chance of staying in this league this season. And I think 0-0 away at Doncaster against a playoff chasing side is a fantastic result, and I'm very much happy with that. So overall, it wasn't a particularly entertaining game to watch. It was a bit of a bored draw, if I'm honest. Cobblers could have had 2 penalties, should have had 2 penalties, definitely. And then obviously that Ryan Watson one, whether or not it went over the line, I'm not too sure from that corner. But yeah, like you say, like James said, 12 points against those kind of teams. You would have snapped my hand off for that a couple of weeks ago. So really, really good from the Cobblers to start picking up points, and hopefully they can do that against those mid-table and bottom of the table sides. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching this video. Make sure to hit a like if you've really enjoyed it. Make sure to smash the subscribe button as well. Also, a quick thank you to our our partners, FanHub, who have sent us this fantastic looking shirt. Have a look at that. I'll get my face out of the way so you can see that. You got the FanHub logo, you got Game Changer as well. So if you're not downloading the FanHub app, go and do that, and tell them we sent you as well. But if you want to get your hands on one of these shirts, you need to be one of the top scoring players in the FanHub app. So go and get it downloaded, and go and get yourself on it so you can earn yourself one of these beauties. I absolutely love it. So yeah, that's a quick promo for them as well. Thank you to our Patreon supporters as well. We've got Adam Page, Mike Fuller, Luke NTFC, Jason Rodhouse and Daniel Wiseman. All 5 of you, fantastic support is really, really appreciated. And if you want to go and support us on Patreon, the link is in the description. So that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching. Like I said, please hit the like button, please hit subscribe, and until next time, I will see you all later. Bye bye.